viewers, welcome to my channel. This is Extreme Learning Website. So today we'll be looking at polynomial long division. I'll be considering two questions on the board, just a single question on the board and how to solve it. So now we have a question on the board here. Factorize x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 6 and then use it to solve the qubit equation x cubed minus and dot. So now the first thing and major thing here is to find the fx. That is the root, the first root of the equation. So how do you find the first root of the equation? You assume x to be anything. So let's start by assuming, let's say let x be equal to, let's say 1, because what we want to do is, which is x1, if x is equal to 1, x equal to 2, which one is going to reduce this expression over here completely to 0? So what will be the value of x for this equation to be 0? So that is the question here. So now let's continue from it. So from it now, let's say if x is equal to 1, that means this expression over here, we're going to put in x 1 for x in all of them. So this is now what? X is now 1, I mean. So this 1 here, 1 cubed plus 4 into 1 squared, then plus what? This is now 1 minus what? 6. Now let's simplify this. Now 1 cubed is same as 1 plus this is 4, 1 square is 1, 1 times 4 is still 4, plus what? 1, then minus 6. Now if we simplify this, I think 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 1 is 6, 6 minus 6 is equal to what? 0. Very good. So this one was that too easy. Now we have gotten it. The first root of the equation is what? The first factor is x minus 1. So if the factor is x minus 1, x when equal x is 1, I mean. So now the root of the equation now becomes, when 1 move over to this side, so we're going to have it to be what? X minus 1 becomes the first root of this equation. Okay, so now we use x minus 1 to divide the equation, the expression. Now let's divide the expression. Now meanwhile, this is the expression we're going to divide over here. So now let's put it out. So this is now we have this to be x minus 1 here outside. So inside this, we have it to be the remaining expression, that is x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 6. So while I put all this inside, the first thing I consider was the powers. The powers descended accordingly, so that is why I put it all in correctly. So the powers descended accordingly. So the first thing I say you do now is to pick the first one here, that is x cubed divided by x here. We're going to be having this word x squared, right? So this is a cubic expansion. So multiply x squared up here by everything down here. So x squared here times x here is going to give us what? X cubed. So that same x squared up here multiplied by minus 1 here is going to give us what? Minus x what squared. Okay, now we subtract. Now in subtracting, like I said, you cancel out x cubed because you can cancel, and then this minus over here changes this minus here to be plus. So this plus 4x squared plus x squared is going to give us what? That is 5x what squared. So bring down the next term, and the next term we're having on the board here is what? Plus x. Okay, so we use this minus this 5x squared to divide x here again. So 5x squared divided by x is going to give us plus 5x only, because one of the x takes the x squared, the square on top of the x. So this now 5x over here now multiplied by x here is going to give us what? 5x squared. So the same 5x squared multiplied by minus 1 here is going to give us what? Minus 5x, right? So now we subtract. In subtracting, like I said, x squared, 5x squared cancels 5x squared. So this minus over here changes this minus to be what? Plus. Okay, this plus x plus 5x is going to give us what? 5 plus 6x, that is 6x, right? So the next is to bring out the next term here. The next term here is what? Minus what? 6. So having minus 6, we do the same thing. 6x here divided by x over here, we're going to be left with just plus what? 6, right? So if 6x divided by x, we're going to be just left with plus 6. Okay, so having that plus 6 now, when I say plus 6 times x here, plus 6 times x is going to give us 6x. So 6 again times minus 1 here is going to give us what? Minus 6, right? So now what do we have? Subtract this, we have this to be 6 cancel 6, then minus here changes this minus here to be what? Plus. So minus 6 plus is going to give us what? 0. So it is 0, 0. So we have finally gotten our next expression up here. The next expression is what? X squared plus 5x plus 6, right? So let's bring it down. The first root of the equation we got is what? X minus 1, right? That's the first root. So the next one is what? X squared plus what? 5x plus 6. So this is the next expression we're going to work on. And I told you something continually, that whenever you have reduced your work down to the second power here, easily do what? Factorize. You easily do what? You factorize. So in factorizing, I showed you one easy step. When you have x squared, that simply means you have to expand the bracket in 2. That is, you put your x here, you drop another x here. That is x squared. So you now check the next one. What can give me 6? I know that 3 times 2 can give me 6. I know that 6 times 1 can give me 6, right? Then that's all. That's what can give me 6. So now I check in these two things here, two samples here. Now which one can give me 5 when we add them? If I have 6 plus 1 here, is going to give me 7. It doesn't work. But if I have 5 and 2 here, it's going to give me 5, right? So I'm going to use this 3 and 2. So what do we have here? To have this, we have this word 3, and then we have this word 2. Remember that we are adding all things together here, right? So we add them up together here. So adding them up now, let's see. Now this positively, suggestively should be our roots, should be the 2 roots, right? Let's try this. We are suggesting that this should be the roots, but how do we know if they are really correct? So what we do now is to multiply this through. Now x times x equals to x squared. X times 3 gives us what? Plus 3x. Plus 2 times x is going to give us plus 2x. Then plus 2 times 5 times 3 is going to give us what? Plus 6, right? So this is now going to give us x squared plus 3 plus 2 is 5x, right? Then this plus what? 6. So this exactly will work. In fact, so this up here now, this is now, it works. So these two roots here are correct roots. Now the remaining roots of the equation. So what do we have now? The complete roots. Now remember, this is the first root of the equation. Now let's write them out. So this is x minus 1, right? X minus 1. Then the next one is x plus 2, and the next one now is what? X what? Plus 3. So all of them, to find, this is now the root of the equation. So the root of the equation is either x is equal to 1, or we can say x is equal to minus 2, or what? X is equal to what? Minus okay, this is plus 2, this is 3, right? X what? To minus what? 3. So how do we do all these ones and change it to all this minus stuff? No, remember we did something like this. Let's pick this for example. If this is x plus 2, so what do we do from here? Equal to 0. Now this goes to this side. So this now x what? Equal to what? Minus what? 2. So that's how we do them and get this particular one. So thank you for watching my video. Do well to subscribe to this excellent new website. Thank you so much for watching. See you in our next video.